Ahoy guys, and welcome back to I Like Watches. This is now 2 videos in a row where I'm going to be showing you watches and not talking primarily about channels and content getting deleted. Although I do have some good news. Steve got his second channel back, so he's now in a wonderful position. He's had a really good boost of subscribers to his first channel. He's now got a second channel with, well, 1,300, 1,400 subscribers on it. It is nice to have that second channel, I'm not going to lie. My second channel proved to be quite useful, didn't it? But yeah, he lost his channel for 8 days. I lost my channel for 7 days. I've been put behind, so in this video I'm going to show you a new watch actually. I got in touch with San Martin. Their response was, well, to send me more free watches. I'm not going to say no. And this one turned up, I didn't even know it was coming. It is a GMT watch, and I haven't got time to review it before the next sale starts. Very soon, at the end of this month actually. What month are we in? That's where my head's at the moment. I think it's August. At the end of August, there's an end of summer sale on AliExpress. So I'm going to be posting quite a lot of content on some AliExpress watches to try and catch up. And of course, in the videos, I'll be putting some affiliate links. I'd love for you to use them. Of course I would. I'd love for you to put the watches in your basket and then check out during the sale when the prices should be pretty well discounted. Yeah, I am actually in the middle of reviewing this GMT that San Martin sent me for free as well. They sent me this one for free. Yeah, I am going to be doing a full review of this one next. Lots of San Martin content coming up. Oh, the battle's over, but the war has just begun, sadly. But anyway, yeah, in this video, I'm just going to unbox this, share with you my first impressions, and then, yeah, maybe come back to it and review it at some point in the future. But I'm just keen to get back in front of the camera and talk about watches. So, guys, enjoy the video. Right, let's kick things off then with the prices. This watch out of the sale is $362 US. That's 367 euros, 312 British pounds. 2 dial colours available, each of those colours available either sterile or with an applied San Martin logo. The movement inside this watch is a GMT movement. It is a Chinese Hangzhou 6460. It beats at 28,800 beats per hour hacks and hand winds, and it is a more expensive and better GMT movement that you'd usually see in the more affordable GMT watches on AliExpress. Right, and there it is, all the plastic's been removed. I've actually resized this one. I've taken some photos of this on my wrist already. I've put some power into the GMT Hangzhou movement and moved all those hands out the way so we can have a good look at this dial. Definitely a strong sort of vintage look to this watch with the sort of orangey coloured applied loom. Well, the loom has been applied directly onto the dial, and also I suspect this is sapphire, this insert. I'm not a huge fan of sapphire inserts because the numerals tend to sit under the crystal look. But I know that they are, well, not particularly cheap. You know, sapphire crystal isn't a cheap material, so they do tend to be quite premium, and this watch is priced the way it is. Well, firstly, I guess because it's a San Martin. Secondly, because this movement is not actually a particularly cheap movement. Yes, it may be a Chinese GMT movement, but yeah, it's not a cheap movement. And of course, you've got 2 pieces of sapphire crystal as well. Let's just check that actually before I keep talking about it being sapphire. Yes, that is a piece of box sapphire crystal look, double domed as well, with some AR coating. It looks to be clear, this AR coating. I'm not seeing, oh no, there is a blue hue around the edge of that crystal look. So blue AR coating on the underside of that crystal. Now let's check the bezel insert. Yeah, that's crystal as well. That is sapphire crystal as well. Right, nice. Let's have a little fiddle with the bezel, I think. It's quiet. It's got this sort of notchy feeling. It's very smooth. And it just sort of glides around and then sits into its position. So it's a 24 click, I should say, bi-directional GMT bezel, isn't it? Let's check the alignment. Looks to be fractionally off. Look, that 12 o'clock marker sits a little bit to the left. It's not much at all. I've spoken about how to correct this sort of error. You might be able to correct a bezel insert, which is out by about this much, by running the watch under hot water, just manipulating the bezel around, because actually, yeah, this one is moving on its double-sided sticky pad, and then running cold water over it when you've held it into the position that you want it. And sometimes yeah, you can get them to essentially reposition themselves. I thought I'd do the loom test nice and early. I was actually curious to see if the bezel insert is fully loomed, and it does look that way. Look at it. In fact, the loom is, I was going to say, is the red and blue section loomed? I think that might just be the loom from the numerals on the bezel insert travelling around the sapphire crystal, because you can't see the colours anymore. But yeah, looks like a decent covering, doesn't it? Right, I've zoomed in a little bit because I want to check out the finishing on the case, and in particular the transitions between the brushed and polished surfaces. They look pretty good, don't they? There's a high polished chamfered beveled edge running down the length of the case. And wow, that brushing on the side of the case looks, yeah, really fine actually. Look at that. Beautiful sheen. And yeah, the polishing on that corner seems very nice. The end links, let's check those while we're here. That's a pretty snug fit. Yep, male end links, so they will extend the case a little bit. But yeah, a decent amount of downturn. Look, let me get rid of that cloth. Why am I holding the cloth? Screw down case back, screw down crown, 200 meters of water resistance. That's nice. Brushed and polished finishing on this 5-link bracelet. Semicircular links with polished sides, screw pins, brushing underneath. In fact, they're all brushed underneath, but the top surface of those middle 3 links. Hang on a minute, are all 3 of those center links polished? Yes, they are. They are. It's difficult to see through the camera actually, but yes, the outer links are brushed, and all 3 of those center links are polished. The clasp, we have seen this quite a lot, haven't we now? I'm glad that they're sticking with it actually. It is a very nice clasp, and they seem to be going back to this longer outer shell with the 4 micro adjusts. Lovely double pushes. It's a lovely action. A couple of milled inner elements. The outer shell might be pressed, but it's pretty substantial, and that logo is applied, and it's nicely done. And yeah, to match the case, look, you get those 2 high polished beveled edges there. Look, very nice. The bezel is just under 41 millimeters. Look, but the case actually sits inside that bezel, so it looks like a 40mm case with a 41mm bezel. Thickness, including the double domed sapphire, is 13.2mm. Case length is 48.4, including the center links it's 50.9. 20mm lug width. Bracelet tapers down to 16, and it is just over 18mm at the clasp. This one's looking pretty good on the time grapher. Decent accuracy, decent amplitude, and beat error. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, let's finish up then by showing you this watch on my 7¼ inch-ish wrist, and there it is. Yeah, beautiful bracelet and clasp. San Martin's 5-link bracelets are beautifully finished, I have to say. The perfect amount of sort of jangle in their bracelets, not too loose, not too tight. I think this watch actually looks a little bit bigger than the dimensions suggest. What do you think? Let me know in the comments section. 40mm case, 41mm bezel diameter. Yeah, looks a little bit bigger than that to me. Yeah, it doesn't sit too high on the wrist. Good weight distribution, definitely. Nice and comfortable. Plenty of micro adjusts. Plenty of removable links, so you're not going to have any problems getting this one to fit. It definitely doesn't feel top heavy or too heavy. Yes, very, very nice. I'm not completely sold on the yeah, the bezel inserts. I'm just not a fan of sapphire bezel inserts. It's just a personal thing. I do much prefer ceramic bezel inserts, but I know what they're trying to do here. They're trying to make a sort of vintage inspired GMT, and the loom printed on the dial, and that sapphire bezel insert is playing a pretty big part in that. So yeah, may not be my favourite style of GMT watch. But there's no denying they've done it very, very well. In fact, this is a version 2, I think. I gave away a version 1 a couple of years ago as part of my 12 watches given away over the 12 days of Christmas. San Martin very kindly donated a version 1 of this watch specifically for me to give away. So yeah, I'll try and dig out that video and see if I can make it live. so that we can all have a look at it and potentially see what has changed. Right guys, I'm going to leave it there. Please don't forget to let me know what you think of this watch in the comments section. Your comments aren't just entertaining for me to read, they are useful for other people considering buying these watches, and given the AliExpress sale is right around the corner, I'm sure there are some people out there considering buying these watches. So yeah, let them know what you think. Right guys, take care, look after yourselves. You'll see me again very, very soon.